Livayo, the software, has a storied past itself. It's gone from paper to Heads Up to software called Everest, and then to Tactic, and then to Livayo, and finally what you see today is what we call L2. Livayo started out with paper and a Selectric 2 typewriter. 38 years ago, I typed out all the jobs and all the tasks and all the frequencies on paper. And then I hired someone, and every Monday, part of their job was to go through the page after page after page I put in a notebook, pull out all the tasks for that week based on the frequencies. And each Monday I would have the list of the routine tasks to do for that week, all the ones that were daily, weekly, and monthly that occurred that week. And then each day I would mark them off. I would do my routines first, then my incidentals. That would then free me up to work on my projects. I turned those sheets in, and then my assistant had a columnar pad and would keep track of the completion of all the tasks so I could see the tasks that I was doing and not doing. That started out 38 years ago on paper. In 1990, 9 years after creating Livayo and using it for 9 years on paper, the idea of making software was finally available to the general public. So I hired a programmer who made heads-up displays for jets. I asked him to make software really for me. I didn't intend to use it for other people. So I made this software. I showed it to a few people just to get their ideas, and there was such high interest that I decided to make it into a business. The business I started was called the Everest System. The software was called the Everest System. It was based on the idea that it was just as difficult to climb Mount Everest as it was to succeed in small business. But the people who succeeded in climbing Mount Everest did so because they followed system and process. And the way to succeed in business was to do the same, follow system and process. And I built that system and process into software called the Everest System. It was time for the Everest System to wake up. It had been 20 years since I put it aside, since it went to sleep. During that 20 years, I built a successful consulting business. I then sold it, and thanks to the generosity of my wife, I took all the proceeds to reinvest back in the Everest System, now 2.0. The Everest System got built, and then we hired a marketing company. The marketing company decided that the Everest System wasn't a very good name, so it became Tactic. Tactic, the software, became a platform for systemizing pretty much anything, and I used it to systemize the running of a small business. Now, 37 years after creating the original idea, I decided to try one more time. So I woke up Tactic, and with the help of a lot of very creative people, we renamed and rebranded and reskinned Tactic into what today you see as Livayo. I have spent most of my adult life working on this. So now you know the story of the app called Livayo.